1991 Toyota MR2. And what you can hear back there, this one is no longer the original 2-liter turbocharged engine. This is a 2GR-FE V6. And this one also has full suspension, so it takes this corner like a freaking boss. And it is so smooth. Brakes. This is on full Willwood brakes. Oh man, that noise though. This brings me back to the frickin' NSX that I drove. With one big difference though, this one is way faster. So the engine is a 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6, and it makes stock just over 300 horsepower, but this one is cammed. It has a Burke exhaust, it has headers, and of course a tune, so it is definitely north of that. Another cool thing about this car is that it weighs less than the NSX. The NSX is about 3,000 pounds. This one, the way it's set up, it is only 2,500 pounds. So you have all that power and you don't have to move a ton of weight. So this thing is fast. Now, if you watch the other MR2 review, it is not a secret that I love these, that I used to want one of these, and I still love the styling of them. Because it's that 90s era, it just looks right to me. And this one has a couple of extra bits to it as well. The front hood is an extractor hood. It essentially makes sure that all the air goes through the radiator to keep this car cool. Now, another thing you notice is the front splitter that actually the owner put some struts on, and those struts are functional because he took this on the track, because this is a track build car, and the front splitter when he first put it on ended up at like almost 180 degrees downward, so he had to put those struts on it to make sure that it stayed where it is. Another thing that I really like about the exterior styling on this car is the side profile. It just hits right because you know you're looking at a mid-engine car. The wheels on this are RPF 1s. Now, a lot of people are gonna say, well, why are you putting a wheel on a car that everyone else has? But there's a reason for that. The reason why people have this wheel is because they're light, and because this is a track-orientated car, that matters. And they go to the back end styling, and you have the TRD wing, and the other mod that I would personally do, the 94 taillights. Very expensive mod, but it is completely worth it because it updates this car. And that's what I love about this engine, man. It has torque for days. It is super smooth. It is predictable. Like, you have power all the time. That's not like with the turbocharged engine when you have to wait for that turbo to spool up, especially in the MR2. So you have to wait until the power gets there. This, it has the power there right away. Now, of course, over here, we're gonna have to do this thing. That sounds so glorious. I said it already, but it is 100% true. The NSX is back, baby. It's just a Toyota MR2 though. And on these brakes here, get a little bit of that brake squeal, but you know, that's comes with the territory with racing brakes. Quick. Now, when we talk about the interior styling on this car, it is 100% 90s. But of course, I gotta mention these seats. These are Sparco racing seats, and of course, you got the racing harness. And I like this harness a whole lot better than the WX that I reviewed, because this is a 4-point harness, way more comfortable getting in. Yes, it does squeeze me a little bit, but the owner actually is about the same size as I am, because I didn't have to adjust anything. Second gear, because that is 100% the gear you need to be in this corner. And I just love the way this thing corners. It just wants to toss you outside of that door. And the torque, man, it has torque for days. This is where it belongs, man, in a corner. Too. You just cannot get enough of that noise behind you. There's just something about mid-engine cars. I've said it before when I drove the Porsche, when I drove the MR2, when I drove the NSX, but it just doesn't get old to have that noise instead of coming from the front, coming from behind you. And it's just sucking in that air. You can just hear it work. It's a goosebump experience, this. And I think also one of the cooler things is, now that we're all back to cruising speed, is that we're about 2200 RPM at 60 miles an hour. And that is a great RPM to be at, because it's cruising fine. Even though this is on a Fortune 500 coilovers, this is so nice. It rides so smoothly. You wouldn't expect that from something like this, honestly. And then the pickup, 2000 RPM, you get on it, and it just motivates you forward with authority. Man. Also, I don't know what it is with people when you go fast.
We call it activating. You activate people.
I can already guarantee you that these two guys are gonna get on it, and I'm just gonna go let them. With the brake squeal though. Now, whoa! It works. I like it. Told you. Oh man, people, they just crack me up. And you don't have to engage them. That's the beauty of it all. You don't have to do that at all. Now, if this was my own car, would I have? Probably, but now I don't feel the need at all. This is the cooler car. I know it, they know it, and that's all that counts. And when it comes down to a conclusion on this car, one, I wish I had twisties, because this car is in its element around a turn 100%. But I know now that if I ever end up with an MR2, I'm gonna have to do this swap, because it is super smooth. The sound you get out of this is flippin' amazing. That is what I'm talking about. And then some goodwill with brakes, slow you down. This truly is a great machine. With that, Lance, thank you so much for letting me review your 2GR FE V6 MR2. And for you, I hope you guys enjoyed this review as much as I did, because this is a treat.
This is fun for me. I've never rode in the passenger side. So.
Really?
Yeah.
You let some stranger with just 10,000 subscribers drive your car.
It sticks the corners though, huh?
Oh man, so nice. Like I always don't try to like push cars too far, because you kind of have to feel a car, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to the Challenger, you feel all that weight shifting, you feel it do weird stuff. This doesn't really. Now, I felt kind of like, I guess the front end does something before the back end does in this car.
Yeah.
So I felt it kind of getting out of the corner, but I'm like, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, so it actually has more understeer. And it does just until you can feel it, and then it'll start gripping. And these are street tires, of course, so they're...
Yeah, they're not like cup tires.
Yeah. If I had R888Rs, it'd be a whole different story.
Yeah, but this is also, we're on the streets, right? So I don't want to do anything too stupid.
Yeah. No, I thought it was just the right amount of fun.
Yeah. And that's what I aim for, having fun, and then that's it.
I had one of those too before this.
Yeah, unequal length headers are the Mas for those, because they sound not as good. The Maserati sounded good too. No AC though.
No AC.
Does that say accelerate on that license plate?
Yep.
Yeah, that's about the only thing you can do in those things, and say, I'm faster than your gas engine car. Sure you are, but you sound like crap. It's like a movie, you know. It could be the most awesome looking movie ever, but if the soundtrack is bunk, I don't want to watch it. Oh man, there's something wrong with this car. No, it's not. They're just racing brakes. Calm down.
Yeah. I like it.
And it's just super smooth. This is what should have come in the car, 100%.
It feels good, right?
Oh man, this is great. Yeah, if I get an MR2, do GR swap. I hear that's an easy swap too.
They have enough plug-and-play parts now, but it's easily, if you get an E153 with LSD, the transmission,
Yeah.
it's an easily $10,000 to $12,000 swap.
Oh,
Yeah.
but it's worth it though.
It is worth it.
Oh my God. I wouldn't want to deal with the turbo car after experiencing this. Because this is going to be dead nuts reliable too. You don't have to worry about overboosting. You don't have to worry about your fuel, because you're just going to put in 93 octane and that's it. You know, you probably can put in less.
I'm going E85.
Yeah, you said you're going to go turbo too, right?
Yep. Yep.
Dude, that was so close. You said you're going to go turbo too, right?
Yep.